Hello, hello, hello. How are you, my viewer? Good to have you once again. Karibu sana. If you are new, this is a place to be. My name is Eda Moeni Zia, and I am the host. Uh, in the few days that I have been silent, something great has been cooking. In the previous month, I have been reading Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. It's a great book that has helped me actually know that school didn't give us, didn't teach us all. A book that has helped me explore, the myth that you actually need a high income for you to get rich. A book that has clearly defined what assets and liabilities are, despite the fact that I did business in high school. Yeah, this a book that has taught me and exposed me to what even my own parents didn't teach me. A lot is in this book. If you can grab it, please just get it and read it. Now this time or today I want to focus on things that really stood out for me, especially in chapter 7 of the book that is titled Overcoming Obstacles. And I'm going to be sharing about 5 reasons or 5 roadblocks that Robert Kiyosaki thinks are or suggests that are a roadblock, to financial independence. And for me, they were not just, I didn't find them just a roadblock to financial independence, but they were also a roadblock to many other things in life, a roadblock, to achieving whatever form of success or whatever form of independence that we dream of, even in our own life. I'm going to be sharing about the 5 things that he talks about. He begins by sharing by saying that number 1 is fear. He talks of cynicism. He talks of laziness. He talks of bad habits. And lastly is arrogance. So maybe to just get it started is fear. Every one of us, a friend of mine tells me that the moment you stand before people, what you always have to remember is that in as much as you feel fearful about those people, is that they also have their own fears. Every one of us has the fear of something. We have the fear of losing money. We have the fear of, what people will think about us. And Robert says that it's not actually the fear that is the problem, but how we handle the fear makes the whole difference. How we manage our fear brings out the difference with the people that we meet. Because the bottom line is that we are all heroes at something, but we are also cowards at something else. You might be a hero in something and a coward in something else, which I am a hero and maybe a coward also in what you are a hero in. And we, even in everyday life, we have people who are terrified of snakes. I'm one of them. We are terrified of reptiles. Let's just say of reptiles generally. But we also have people who are, terrified of losing money. Some people are terrified of heights. Whatever it is, the bottom line is that all these things are phobias. And so how we manage our phobias brings out the whole difference. And I liked a story that was illustrated in the book. And Robert says that his rich dad used to call it the Texas attitude. And he says that in Texas, everything is bigger. He says that when the Texans win, they win big. But also when they lose, the loss is spectacular. And I think I love the Texan attitude towards risk, rewards, and failure. How they handle life, how they live it big every day. They are proud when they win, and they also brag when they lose because they don't want someone going around saying that you went broke because of something that was really duplex. So I think that most of us have really played it safe. We want to get to heaven, but nobody wants to die. We want success and big things and the things that we really admire. And you look at the people who are on top there, where you have always desired to be, but you don't want to sacrifice. You are afraid of losing. You have the many questions going on in your mind, and this drives you to actually not do anything at all. So how do the Texans handle fear? They always shout, remember the alarm bell. The Alamo is a group of people, actually. It's a people who live in San Antonio. And they have a story of bravery, you know. Theirs is a story of brave people who chose to fight even when there was no hope of success. You know, I really found it a story worthy of studying, a story worthy of reading. That nonetheless, even though that in the end of it, the story ends with a tragic military defeat, the bottom line is that these people did not give up on their fears, and that is why the Texans still to date, that is how they look at fear, that is how they handle fear. They still say, remember the Alamo. So failure makes you stronger and smarter. We have all experienced fear at some point, but the bottom line in our minds should be that it makes us stronger. It makes us smarter. You know, we all learn riding the bicycle by falling off and having scars. You know, I still have scars on my knees when I was learning to ride the bicycle, and and whatever it is we are actually doing in real life, don't bury your failures. Be inspired by them is my challenge to you, that whatever it is you have been doing and you have constantly tried and tried and tried, and it actually seems like nothing is coming out of it, or no fruit is being born out of it, my challenge to you is that please don't get intimidated, get inspired. That is the formula of the Texans. It is also the formula of all winners. So the question is, how do you respond to failure? And it takes a lot of guts, it takes a lot of patience, and it takes a great attitude to handle failure. And only winners actually do that. The second thing, or the second obstacle, is overcome cynicism. Overcome cynicism. In our primary school, there's this story that we always read of Chicken Little, who look at the sky and would run around and around telling people the sky is falling, the sky is falling. And, you know, I find it even in our everyday life, just like the way Robert says, is that we all get chicken at some point. We all have, you know, especially when our fears or when our thoughts are clouded by fear and doubt, we get chicken a little bit. All of us have doubts. Sometimes you look at people and you say, so and so can do it better than me. You know, there are moments when you feel, I am not good enough. There are moments you feel, I am not smart enough for that particular thing. And the truth is that our doubts often paralyze us. Our doubts, help us in just going down the drain. And if we can really manage our doubts and our fears in a positive way, then something great can come out of it. You know, sometimes you even play the what if game. You're asking yourself, what if people don't like it? What if the economy crashes if I invest in that particular field? What if I lose control of things for the people who love being in control? And so on and so forth. Even for me, starting these YouTube videos was not something easy. You know, I had a lot of what ifs. But amidst all these things, I just decided I'm gonna do it, and criticism has been coming along, comments have been coming along, and the truth is I have become better. I have become better through the criticism. I have become better through the feedback that I'm receiving from people and such kind of things. So what the words of doubt should not, get so loud into you that you fail to act, because that is the essence of doubt, that it has to scream so loud that at the end of it, you get so afraid of acting. And Peter Lynch says that we all hear noise. There will always be noise within and without. It can either be created inside our heads, or it can come from outside, either from friends, sometimes from family, sometimes it can come from co-workers, or even from the media, especially in this generation that we are in. But what I believe is, sometimes we are still stagnating because the world is filled with, chicken littles running, around and shouting that the sky is falling, the sky is falling. I hope that you will take up courage, and that you will overcome this cynicism. It takes great courage to not just let rumors and talks of people, talks of gloom and talks of doom affect you. Don't let these things get into you. I was actually reading in the scriptures yesterday in the book of Numbers, chapter 32, from verse 7. I actually realized these things they are very biblical. They are not just things that are happening. They are biblical principles, actually. And that was Moses asking, the men of the tribe of Dan and Reuben that, why have you chosen to discourage people from going and taking over the land that God had told them to take up? So I pray that you will be the voice of encouragement. You will not be the voice of instilling fear and doubt into people's life. That you will not challenge people, because doubt is very expensive. Cynics never win, and unchecked doubt and fear creates cynic. And cynics criticize, but winners analyze. So I hope you look at situations and not just criticize them, but you'll be able to analyze them, because that is the attitude to adapt. 3, overcome laziness. Laziness. And I'm gonna be Robert shares about laziness in something in a way that is actually very mind-blowing. I read it and I was like, wow, I've never thought of it this way. And he says that busy people are often the most lazy people. In a society, in a generation that, we have emphasized and we look as if we are important, the more busy we are, Robert says that the most busy people are actually the most lazy people. There are people who are too busy that, they fail to take care of their health. You're too busy that you fail to take care of your wealth. You're too busy that you fail to take care of your family. And Robert says that the bottom line of this being busy is that there's always something that we are escaping. There is always something that we are running away from. And that is why we are constantly busy. If I am not busy at work, I am busy, doing my side hustles. I am busy, with my friends. I am busy. We are always being, you are always busy. And the reality is that nobody has to tell us what it is that we are running away from. Deep down, we know it. And most times, actually, when someone reminds us of that particular thing, is that we respond by being very furious, being very angry, or irritation, actually. So every one of us, we know deep down, there's always something that we are always running away from. And sometimes we become workaholics to run away from it. Sometimes we indulge in things that, are just a comforting measure, but not really the real thing. And he says that the most common form of laziness is laziness by staying busy. How I wish that we'll just stop for a while and ponder about that. Stop suppressing the desires and the needs from the inside of you and just face them, because that is the real thing. And he says that the human spirit knows when you're lying to yourself. It can understand, it can feel, and it knows the truth. He says that it is very, very powerful. The human spirit is very, very powerful. It can do anything. When you sometimes your spirit can be angry, but because there are things and the limits that it knows it can explore, but your mind is there being lazy and telling you, come on, this one we can't do. This one we have already done enough. Sometimes even your own spirit will scream and tell you, let's go to the gym and work out and stay healthy. But your mind will be there and telling you, oh, today I have worked enough, I need to rest, and yeah, those kind of things. I know these are things that we are really relating to. And I love the words of Eleanor Roosevelt. She says that, do what you feel in your heart to be right, for you'll be criticized anyway. You'll be damned if you do, and damned if you don't. So whatever it is that you feel is right for you, please go for it. And avoid whatever form of laziness, and whatever it is that you could be escaping from, face it. Face your giants, face your fears, and slay them. Number 4, overcome bad habits. We are grown-ups, but grown-ups with bad habits. How I miss the days when we were in school and the teacher will pinch us a little bit to avoid the bad habits. We'll know that we were accountable to someone, a teacher or a parent, and Therefore, we would avoid these bad habits. But here we are, all grown, and we feel that we are not accountable to anyone. And who cares after all? And so we have adopted many, many, many habits. Our lives are a reflection of our habits. The way your life looks, the way your life is different from that other person, it's a reflection of your habits. Adopt the good habits. Go for workout and keep your health, keep yourself well. Eat healthy. Don't just go eating junk food and things that do not add value or that add a lot of carbs in your body. Keep your mind alert, keep your mind active, read, meditate and reflect, sharpen your brain, set your priorities right so that your motivations will also be at par. Commit yourself to think and be smart and stay mentally healthy. Have a good relationship with people, have good money habits. Avoid habits at all costs. What is that bad habit that you have picked along the way? That is an obstacle to you, maximizing the full potential of being you. Pray that you'll just get a moment and be all alone and just think about the habits that you have picked along the way. Are they good habits or are they bad habits? Do they reflect a positive view or do they make you better or they make you worse? And then after that, work on it. Get started and work on it. And lastly, Robert Kiyosaki says overcome arrogance. And he says that what he knows makes him money and what he doesn't know loses him money. When you're ignorant, you believe that what you don't know is not important, but that is actually a lie. There are many things that you don't know, but they are important. The other day I had posted on my WhatsApp status and say that go and educate that brain of yours. Go and learn something new today. Just have an idea about something. If something is mentioned somewhere and you have no idea about it, go and read about it. Go and research about it so that next time you will be better. I have a friend of mine who, whenever we talk, he will always have an idea about something. And at some point I got to ask him that, do you know everything? It looks like you know everything. And he responded by telling me that I just know something about many things. And I think I loved that. Just have an idea, just know something about, many things. And Robert Kiyosaki in his book says that many people use arrogance to hide their own ignorance. So sometimes when you meet people being arrogant to you, it is that they are hiding their ignorance. And my challenge to you is that have an idea on a variety. Educate yourself on a subject that you're not familiar with. Find expert, look for books, look for information online, and just, get yourself started. Just get yourself educated and keeping abreast of the changes that are happening every day. So with those 5 things, with those 5 points, I believe that it is not just the avenue to financial independence. It is not just the avenue, but also an avenue to many other things in life, to realizing and maximizing the full potential that is in us. You have the ability, you have the capability, avoid those obstacles, and go for it that you want in life. And until next time, bye-bye.